It's been a battle royale in the marketplace, Hollywood versus the rest of America, trying to tell consumers that they will like what the values are of Southern California and the far Northeast. No, we're not including you, New Hampshire. We know you're different. But Hollywood seems intent on making sure that the marketplace is unhappy with them, refusing in large part to acquiesce to the demands of the audience. Now, in 2024, we're facing the reality that the entertainment industry may be facing a total collapse. And we don't mean that superfluously, folks. We're not saying that facetiously. No, we mean it. Theaters in real trouble of absolutely going out of business, and major entertainment companies on the decline greatly, even as the press spins it in opposite ways. Today, we're going to tell you what's going on and what might finally break this loggerhead when it comes to actually getting good movies and stories and TV shows again. Can we just all agree to get along? And by that, Hollywood, come along with us and make the stuff we want to give you money for. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the WDW Pro channel, where we dive deep into the philosophies and cultures of Hollywood and explain entertainment. Keep you ahead of the culture curve in doing so. Happy to have each and every one of you. It is always an honor with every single person who joins us, and so thank you personally from me to you for joining us today. We're hoping that you have a very lovely new year. All right, folks, we are going to bring on a panel of experts to talk about this fascinating issue of Hollywood seemingly not wanting to make money. It's the most bizarre thing in the world. The message is more important than the money. And we thought that the folks at Hollywood and Beverly Hills, that they were greed, greed, greed all day long. Apparently, though, they have switched to creed, creed, creed all day long. Let's talk about it right now. In a normal year, and this channel's only been around since January 1st, and folks, we're going to do a rundown later this week of just the milestones we've hit. And all of you, you're the reason that it's done so, right? You all are the gigawatts that makes this possible. You're the electricity. But this year has been so bizarre because what we've been covering has been the absolute downfall of Hollywood and the divorce of Hollywood from the marketplace. And so Variety has this article by Brent Lang that's out that I thought that this was the perfect way to end this show. It says, New Year, New Headaches. Here are 5 burning questions facing Hollywood in 2024. We're not going to read the entire article, folks. We'll have the link in the description after we end the live portion. But here are the questions that are out. For 2024, where are the blockbusters? I'm here to tell you, I don't think in 2024 that's going to, I don't think we're going to find those. In fact, I struggle to come up with what could be the blockbusters for 2024 outside of Deadpool 3. And heaven help them if Deadpool 3 doesn't do well. It has to.
I mean,
must.
Under different circumstances, we could consider the Kingdom of the Parking Lot of the Garage of Planet of the Apes, or whatever they're calling that one. That could be, or the Aliens movie, that could be a blockbuster, but we're not there.
Nope.
They've killed the market. All of this superhero movie addiction has basically killed the definition of a blockbuster, so that it has to have a superhero in it in order for it to be considered a blockbuster.
Will Disney get its groove back in 2024? I can't see how it does, because Deadpool 3 could reset expectations of Marvel briefly, but it doesn't make the trepidation go away for 2025 with the roster they have on slate. I don't see that Inside Out 2. Why would I think that that's going to get them their groove back on? And so then you're down to like Mufasa. Do we think Mufasa? I mean, maybe Mufasa will make $1 billion in China alone. I don't know. But will Disney get its groove back? Well, it's definitely uncertain. What will happen to late night television? You know, here's the funny thing. Where are the blockbusters? Will Disney get its groove back? And what will happen to late night television? All seem to me to be the result. These questions are the result of the partisan nature of entertainment over the last few years. And these people have laughed their way into obscurity because they've destroyed blockbusters. They've destroyed Disney. They've destroyed late night because they have decided that they want to be political. They want to be unendingly, unflinchingly political, and they want to be political in only one direction, and they have driven away the average individuals, not just the right, but the middle. And so all they're left with is the echo box, and the echo box is not sufficient.
I think
concert ticketing conundrum be solved? I don't think that's a big deal. I don't care about it. Maybe it's a big deal. Congress is involved. That probably insinuates that it's not a big deal by the fact that Congress cares and will take action. That usually means it doesn't matter at all. And which conglomerates will be left standing? And the conglomerates left standing comes down to the fact that as the pie dramatically shrinks in 2024, and that's what we anticipate seeing, as the entertainment industry literally implodes. Okay, that's what we're watching. The implosion of entertainment, not of the market. The market's still there. The content creators are imploding because they can't create content that audiences care to see. So as the implosion happens, then those pies, those slices of the pie, they're going to start to join together so that they can at least have some significant portion as the entire pie shrinks itself down. But panel, let me hand it to you. What do you think are the biggest things that Hollywood faces as they fight against, I guess, America? Hollywood versus America.
It's connecting with audiences that live outside Hollywood or San Francisco. I mean, that's really the issue facing Hollywood in 2024 and beyond. I mean, obviously the reduced slate is going to have really bad implications for the entire industry, including theatrical exhibitors. But I mean, and you know, people were on Twitter arguing over the recent Christmas Day parade and how Splash Mountain, or I should say Tiana's Rainforest Cafe Adventure, was exhibited there, and
welcome
how
to the club. Like, welcome to the club, Vash.
Exactly, right?
So bad.
Nothing new was shown. Nothing new was said about that attraction. So people were like, "Well, you know, what does this mean?" And a lot of people were like, hey, "That's because they had nothing to show."
Plastic plants, Vash. Nothing says plastic plants like a bayou adventure like plastic plants, a vertical drop, and a mountain. You know, it looks more like a volcano in the bayou. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, why is this project off to such a rough start? It's because, well, it didn't organically come from a place of like, let's put on the best attraction that we possibly can. It came from a place of, we had to solve a problem, we had to solve an issue, and we had to do it through this very kind of postmodern lens here. And unfortunately, when you go into these projects with maybe propaganda first, you know, and it's coming from people who are obsessed with these things, you limit the empathy that can come from these people to their target audience, and are they even capable of creating something that really speaks to the human condition if they themselves lack a little bit of that going into it? That's really the huge issue right now. It's just the quality of creatives and where their head is at.
I think that's very insightful. I think that they're suffering from their own political myopic belief system. I think that the people that'll suffer the most will actually be the exhibitors. Although, believe it or not, they'll probably find a way around it. They'll start showing more sporting events, doing more Fathom events, kinds of things, getting films and release, running their theaters out to gaming tournaments. I mean, there's a lot of things that they can do to survive, but they have to overcome the tiny little group of activists, which isn't so tiny anymore because they've let so many in the door. But they have to overcome the activism in order to get back to telling good stories that the audience will appreciate. The problem is that those, even were they to start today, would be 3 to 5 years down the road. And Iger has essentially said out loud, in many ways, we have to quiet the noise, but we're not going to get away from the propaganda. Well, you got to do one or the other, bro. You're just going to have to figure that out. So Disney, I think, is going to continue to lose ground in every single way. The other studios, you're seeing them group together. You could see Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount together this, starting in April of this year. That could actually become a thing. You could see, larger technology players getting involved in a bigger way. But you're going to, in order for Hollywood to survive, they're going to have to get back in line with the audience. You cannot, I said this before earlier in the stream, you cannot be divisive because all it does is divide. You cannot be successful doing that. And while certain niches can be successful, they aren't large enough to support the machine. And so what you're going to see in Hollywood, unfortunately, is, you're going to see 1/3 less things, if not more, maybe 1/2 things of what we used to see in production, not just theatrically, but also for television. You're going to see less media coming out of the mainstream that supports Hollywood, which again will diminish their appeal because they won't be resonating with the public anymore. The last thing they can afford to do is become irrelevant, and that's the thing that they're doing their very best at right now.
You know, I just have to point out that Disney's big blockbuster that they've got coming out is Deadpool 3,
That's it.
which I think that
but at the end of July,
that does
at
not
the end of
have
July,
this, right? It doesn't have the same market appeal as anything else, and for movies that everyone knows what they are, but when the culture warriors that want to clutch their pearls get aware of what is in the Deadpool movies, I think that they're going to have a lot of ammunition, because Deadpool, they're going to want to market that film to as many people as possible.
Why? But
they've
Jonas,
also promised they're not going to take it down to a PG-13 rating. And even though they're doing it for comedic effect, because they're kind of mocking it, there are things in Deadpool 1 and 2 that, even describing them on this live stream, let's say it puts Deadpool on the alphabet spectrum. We'll say it that way, even though they're doing it for laughs. These are filthy movies. And when Disney, the Disney brand, which is now the Marvel brand, is marketed to its fullest extent, I don't think that this movie is going to quiet the noise in the culture war, even though it's Deadpool and everyone should know what it is. I don't think this is going to help them in any way, because if it's successful, they're going to learn all the wrong things. And if it's not successful, it's just going to do so much damage to their brand. I just see this as a bomb waiting to go off for Disney.
Let me help Disney, and then we need to get to super chats. But Disney, I'm here to help you. Mr. Hugh Johnston, if you're listening, Mr. Iger, if you're listening, here's my advice. And granted, I think the track record this year has been sufficient that you should listen at this point. Our growth versus your growth is, well, you get the idea. Disney, you have one blockbuster. If you have one blockbuster, don't release it the last week of July. That's a bad idea. Hold Deadpool until late October, early November, and try to ride this thing all the way until Christmas. And Jonas is right. It is a bad idea for you to release this as R-rated. So maybe put out a PG-13 version and an R-rated version and give folks an option to choose. That's all I can come up with, because in a normal year, this would be one of about 10 of your blockbusters, and so it wouldn't matter. You could have one raunchy, rancid kind of thing going on, but you got one, and you're in the middle of a massive culture war. And just a heads up, Disney, 2024 probably, just probably, isn't a great year to be part of the culture war. Like, it might be worse than 2023 for some strange reason. So any way you can lower the noise, you should. That's pros advice to Iger and to everybody else involved with Disney. Will I enjoy Deadpool 3? Perhaps. I'm not opposed to an R-rated comedy, but I'm also not an idiot when it comes to recognizing you got three films, one's a blockbuster, and you're in the middle of what should be probably the most divisive year of our lives next year with the election. So avoid controversy at all costs if you're Disney. Okay, folks, it's time for you now. It's your turn. Drop a comment down below and let us know. In the realm of Hollywood, when do you think that they are going to finally decide that making money is good again and get back to doing that? When are they finally going to let go of these divisive ideas and propagandizing those to the rest of the market, which doesn't seem interested at all? When will it decide that the majority rules in the marketplace? We would love to hear your thoughts. And don't be fully pessimistic, folks. This will turn around at some point. It must. At least we all better hope it does. And we'll help them get there by telling the truth each and every day regarding all of it. Like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. And folks, don't forget that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.